The recent expose show, I asked people, because it generated a lot of emotions. I did a couple of posts on the Facebook and MeWe asking for people for comments. And those are not easy shows to compile, write, or relay. And in a world of critiques, it is often forgotten the messenger's emotions and feelings of it as well. But with an alt media delving into shallow topics and in essence only using a few pieces of the jigsaw, there are times when on a single subject, which did encompass others, much of which has come from our own show, where you have to strip everything to the raw and to the core and just lay it all out. And I will make no apologies for a single word said in that show, because all of it was 100% truth. Playing hide and seek or being selective with the truth is no longer an option. We asked for the truth en masse many years ago, in the past decade, and we're getting it. But it's a common theme of attacking the messenger due to their own guilt, triggers, shame, and in some cases cowardice. And this is portrayed in a few of the members' comments this week that are poignant and hit the nail on the head at the same time. So this is the first one. It reminds me very much of when I got sober. The people around me, some of them took it personally. Suddenly it made them think that they had a problem, or I thought they did, or whatever. People close to me didn't like it for a while because my behaviour changed. People couldn't get me to react the way I used to. If they don't adjust and keep expecting me to be the same way I was in the drinking times, they end up pulling away. And this is part of the problem. Everyone wants you to be an addict or in low vibration. When a simple change of mindset, we can elevate everyone, not drag each other down. But the envy of people improving themselves is the most ridiculous thing ever on this planet. That person took responsibility for themselves and raised their frequency also. And they couldn't match it, is what took place. Because they were the problem. And are the problem. And it's an example of around 85% of people in your life only being there due to addictions and low vibrations. And the minute you improve, the more and further they disappear. And the whole gist of THI is for people to recognise their own faults and shortcomings, regardless of what they are, and improve it. And that is the primary premise behind THI. It's a learning tool for us all, including me. Now, the second post by one of the members kind of sums up the fears of many people now. He or she just had the gumption to spit it all out. I feel stuck now. I don't know if I can support Donald Trump, knowing what I know about him and the Black Sun and his support of and for Kushner. I've come to the realisation that the Q-based plan is based on a plan to herd the population into Agenda 21, force inoculations of the American public. And it breaks my heart to know that the sleepers don't have a chance, and when they do wake up, it'll be too late. The latest episode podcast that Thomas so eloquently laid out shook me to the core. Although I felt compelled to follow this channel, I had no idea how much of an impact it would have on me and my life. Because of the show, I am awake now. I no longer smoke, drink, or do any kind of recreational drugs because of the inspiration of THI that has inspired me, has encouraged me to be a better man and be a better human and to live a better life than the life that I've been living here before on this forsaken planet that they call Earth. Thank you for waking me up in a time in my life when I needed it the most. That is why the first message of today's show is not as bad as it sounds. And like I said in the previous piece, the premise of THI is where we all learn, improve and grow as people. Well, some of the items covered in this show are a bit harrowing and a bit of reality this show warned about weeks and months ago, about the staggering amounts of unemployed in this country, but with many still not getting their stimulus checks and also many not receiving unemployment and many following trust the plan, it does raise deeper concerns. But the long piece in the intel brings the potential of great hope as well. But in the midst of one of the pieces earlier, it reveals much about the global system and the way they direct opinions. They were always going to need an event of sorts to pull back from the virus, a new media spin, and that post by CNBC, and will be followed by all the others, as all of it is scripted and coordinated. But the key line in that is not how many have suffered. Oh no. It is who they mentioned suffered more. Women and minorities, they said. While early unemployment figures shows the recent economic downturn has disproportionately impacted women and minorities in the US. And this is what they were plugging away at in the previous 2 years. Back and forth they went with the colour divisive narrative and the male and female divisive narrative. And yet again, out comes the Zionist-based meme of white privilege. What a load of bollocks that is. The same white privileged people will pay the bulk of the taxes, I might add. I don't call that a bloody privilege. And this is something we reported and warned of it several times in the shows last year. Stop falling for this shit. Given their patterns are all too predictable, one hopes more see through their lies and distortions and turn them off altogether. We don't need portal people in our life. The From Russia with Love 7 rerun told you how corrupt agencies feed you fabricated news stories, and that has gone on for decades now. There is no doubt in overview that women and blacks have not been treated as well as they should. No one can take that away. But in overview also, there can be no doubt that the behaviour of those two groups has not been the best either, and has in some cases ended up reinforcing stereotypes. It's the chicken and the egg. But it doesn't matter what colour or gender you are, the perception of you always starts with the self. You fixing you changes how the world views or judges you. But if you change you, you care not what their judgments are. So we can all sit back and complain, I'm not respected, cared, or looked after enough. But the very fact that so many people think that way is a reflection of society and how we've all lost our way in so many ways. And it's time to stop being the victim and become your own saviour. Our whole world is dominated by repeat behaviours and patterns, and the antithesis of this is we all change. Change who we bank with. Change who we watch on the box, or turn it off. Change who we shop with. Change from buying from Amazon altogether. Change our health habits, change our lifestyles, do and be something different each day. Otherwise, one week becomes the same as each other. Go out to meet people more, go to the park or to the beach more, take vacations even if it's for a long weekend. Doing something different changes the way they and their AI plots your course, life and path. It can't handle it. And so the answer to fixing it starts and ends with you. One person fixing themselves in a world of predicted, predictable and algorithmic programming has subsequently just changed the whole world. Just you. Yes, you, with all your boxes, victimhood and limitations, can change the whole world by just correcting you. And remember, we are the last in line.